A very good evening. You're watching Nation at 5. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. We have some breaking inputs coming in to dive into our top segment. This is with regards to One Nation, One Election. In fact, we are learning that the JPC for One Country, One Election is going to now launch a website for the public to give their feedback. The website will give access to public to give their opinion on the bill on the whole. This is the big movement that now has arrived. In fact, there has also been a ruckus in the parliament with regards to One Nation, One Poll. But let's quickly go across to Payal, who will share more inputs on that bit. Payal, give us a sense of what can we expect from this website, first of all, as far as the public's own opinion with regards to One Nation, One Poll is concerned.
Taking our audiences back to the day on which the bill was really passed by the Union Cabinet, Akanksha, the instructions from the Prime Minister were very simple, that wide consensus needs to emerge from this, and public are the biggest stakeholder as far as this bill is concerned, and its impact as well. So that's something, of course, is what the committee has been able to understand as well. Remember, in the JPC for the Waqf Amendment bill, also public opinion was sought, and you saw huge communication come in. 90 lakh plus emails came in, 98,000 plus physical communication came in. But One Country, One Election, since it's going to be a long-drawn process, they've decided to launch a website. That website will be, launched and will go live shortly. That will allow public to, in fact, give in their opinion as far as the bill is concerned. And nobody needs to get really confused. If you want to give your opinion about the entire bill, that's also allowed. If you, for example, want to give your opinion on a particular clause of a bill, that option will also be available. So public feedback is going to be sought as this. And this is, remember, Akanksha, legislation which is actually going to change the entire electoral scenario in this country. The electoral role, routine in this country is going to be changed. And that's the reason the government is expecting a lot of public feedback to come in, especially from the youngsters. So taking into mind and taking into account of the fact that the Prime Minister has always spoken about the need to have development and as well as, consensus and technology in place, that's the reason AI tools will be used to examine the feedback that is given by public so that they can scan any number of communication that was really available. In the Work Amendment Bill, the Secretariat, honestly speaking, struggled to go through the emails and go through the physical representation that were received by them. But this is not going to be the case in this website. So, progressive looking website has been formed. The details from MyGov and of course the data from MyGov will also be used as far as this is concerned. So, public can in fact give in their opinion in whatever fashion it suits them, so that they can actually decide if they want to speak about every clause. There are multiple clauses to which people may have objection. They can express their opinion either ways. And that website is expected to go live soon because it's going to be expected to be, the website is going to be launched within the committee meeting itself in some time from now.
And when you're saying that, there will be a consensus which will be taken from the public, what can we now expect as far as drawing that entire consensus is concerned? Will it be incorporated as well?
That definitely will be incorrect. Public opinion is going to be the most important one. Akanksha, they are the biggest stakeholder as far as this process is concerned. Eventually, it all boils down to the voters as well. But this is just the beginning of this committee. This is a very, very big committee consisting of 42 members, and two other members have been added to it as special invitees. They have to give in their opinion. Various stakeholders are expected to be invited. Today, Ranjan Gogoi is speaking in the committee just as we talk right now. Earlier, UU Lalit Anand, Chief Justice former Chief Justice of India, had also deposed before the committee. The committee's term is only up to the first day of the last week of the ongoing session. But we're expecting some addition to really happen in terms of the time given to them, because this is a widespread consequence. This is a legislation which is going to have widespread consensus, and that will be required as well. And that's something which they're going to do. Already you've seen the BJP leaders reaching out to various strata of society, whether it's to the industrialists or to the students on the whole, with the merits of the bill. That kind of consensus is expected to emerge. In the coming days, the committee is also likely to summon the Ministry of Education and ask the Ministry of Education to spread awareness about this through debates and discussions in schools and colleges as well. So that kind of emergence of consensus is most mandatory. Politically speaking, the numbers are also going to be important because the BJP and the NDA at this point in time do not have two-third majority in the parliament to pass the bill, which is constitutional, which means we need two-third majority. But the government is very sure that at the end of the entire process of scrutiny, several people, including people in the opposition, will come on board and realize that this bill is largely in the interest of the public.
But, Payal, sources are also indicating that in the committee meeting for former Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi has also defended the One Nation, One Poll bill. He has argued that Parliament has the right to make the legislation. It can also be done as per the constitutional framework. So, is this now, also a, further validation for the entire bill?
Yes, it's going to be extremely important because he's given an opinion, and UU Lalit, the former Chief Justice of India, had also supported the bill, essentially saying that this is a forward-looking bill. This is what the need of the hour really is. Although he has suggested that the bill should be brought in phases and people shouldn't be left stunned at once. But what Mr. Gogoi has essentially said is what sources are indicating to us. He said that Parliament has the right to make laws and parliamentarians have the right to implement laws as well. That's something which is part of the Constitution. As long as this bill falls in the realms of Constitution, it should be valid. But the most important fact that he's actually said, and which you must tell our viewers, he has said that the idea of the government of the day is not to infringe on the right of the people to vote. It's not curtailing the right to vote. It's just bringing in a system to vote so that the timing can be decided, so that polls can happen together, so that focus can happen on governance. That's a big point that Mr. Gogoi has been able to say, that there is nobody who's trying to curtail anybody's right to vote.
All right.
It's just that timing is being decided in a manner that you can actually vote at once and save the rest of the 5 years for governing for the people.
Many thanks to you, Payal, for bringing us all those latest inputs on that news. In fact, we now shift focus over to the Rajya Sabha as a massive ruckus has taken place in the Rajya Sabha. This over Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge's remarks for the chair. Kharge has accused the chair of not allowing him to speak and used the word "thokenge," alleging dictatorship by the chairman. JP Nadda has slammed the LOP for using objectionable language for the chair and condemned the Congress party. BJP has said that the language exposes the real mindset of the Congress party. Kharge later even apologized for his comments, saying that his remarks were directed towards government's policy and not towards the speaker. Listen in to the reactions.
क्या डिक्टेटरशिप हो गया? मैं आपसे हाथ जोड़ के विनती कर रहा हूँ
को अनुरोध कर रहा हूँ, माननीय
ढंग से
दिग्विजय जी को बोलना है।
नहीं मेरा बोलना है, हम बोलने के लिए तैयार भी किए हैं और आपको क्या क्या ठोकना है ठीक से ठोकेंगे।
बहुत ही दुख की बात है कि आपने अभी लीडर ऑफ द ऑपोजिशन अभी जो उन्होंने भाषा का उपयोग किया और चेयर पर एक्सपर्शन किया है, यह अति निंदनीय है, अति निंदनीय है। दिस इज कंडेमनेबल, दिस इज टू बी कंडेम्ड बाय वन एंड ऑल, इंक्लूडिंग द एलओपी. ही शुड कंडेम एंड ही शुड अपोलोजाइज.
संविधान, संवैधानिक पदों का अपमान, यही बन चुकी है कांग्रेस पार्टी की असली पहचान। जिस प्रकार की शब्दावली मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी, नेता प्रतिपक्ष राज्यसभा ने चेयर के प्रति इस्तेमाल की राज्यसभा में, ये कांग्रेस की एंटाइटल्ड मानसिकता और अपने आप को परिवार तंत्र को संविधान तंत्र के ऊपर मानना, इस मानसिकता को दर्शाता है और ये कोई पहली बार नहीं है। आज सवाल बनता है कि क्या मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी माफी मांगेंगे? उनको अनकंडीशनल माफी मांगनी चाहिए, कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
All right, let's quickly go across to Pallavi, who will share more inputs on that news story. Pallavi, take us through what is the apology that has come in from the Congress chief, especially when that he's claiming that he's very much tendered in his apology, and why isn't the BJP now getting pacified?
Well, it's not 100% apology which came in from the Congress president and the LOP in the Rajya Sabha, which is Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge. So the whole issue began during a discussion on the education policy, and that is when Mr. Kharge stood up, and at one point of time when he was being heckled, he responded by saying, and we heard what he had to say, ki hum thokte rahenge. The objection came into the unparliamentary word which was used by him according to the BJP, and that is where the demand was made from him, that he was disrespected other MPs as well as the chair. He did apologize, but he only said, I apologize to the chairperson, but not to the government, because I'm going to hold the government accountable. And not just that, if you notice, one after another, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge has kept on tweeting and retweeting and putting out and the same post or the words he used inside the Rajya Sabha. Well, for the BJP, this is yet another point that they are scoring against the Congress, accusing the Congress of having scant regard as far as parliamentary principles or the decorum is concerned.
And when it comes to the overall discussion regarding the NEP, has this now given the BJP